Good morning.
Good morning.
First and foremost, I would like to thank Advocates for Youth for being the leader in getting this issue off the ground. Empowering and educating youth around sexual health issues has been a passion of mine for many years now. When I first started in this field at the age of 17, it was all about figuring out why I was so angry. I was angry because, well, frankly, my sex education totally sucked. I still remember my teacher describing an STI as a Hershey's Kisses, chewed up and then spit back out. To this day, I still don't understand how that painted picture is supposed to help anyone in understanding an STI. I was also angry because sex ed didn't talk about my body and how it worked. It was really frustrating dealing with a physical disability and feeling awkward in my body. I was still confused as to why I was attracted to males and females and did not have the proper language to describe myself. Although I heard of the terms gay, bisexual, and lesbian, it still didn't feel right to me. It was due to my thirst for knowledge, my anger, and the search for the truth that led me to a youth sexual health institute held in the summer that gave birth to this activist that you see today. The institute, led by the Illinois Caucus for Adolescent Health, or ICA for short, was called Action Out Loud. The perfect image of what it means to be an activist, particularly a youth activist. There's no denying that youth are often ignored and not part of decision-making spaces. Our voices and experiences do matter. That's the reason why I have lobbied national and state legislators for young people's rights to comprehensive sex ed, shared lessons learned and information with my peers and communities, and why I have led workshops on youth sexual health at the School of Social Justice. As young people, we are just as valuable as the constituents who are 50 years old. My activism around HIV and AIDS later became even more meaningful when I learned 6 months ago that both of my grandparents died from HIV-related complications in Mexico. My family never spoke of it. In fact, many years, they refused to talk about it. Even to me, as an activist in the HIV and AIDS field, my own familia couldn't even talk to me about how HIV and AIDS has affected our family. How can I expect other families and older generations to teach the next generation? How are we supposed to talk about decreasing new infections when we can't even have open communication between generations? In order to really, truly remove stigma and shame, we must be able to live outside our comfort zones. Let us step back into reality and acknowledge that HIV is as real as the air we breathe. As an HIV counselor who identifies as a young person and works with young people, it is one of the most essential lessons I have learned when it comes to preventing HIV among youth is the importance of establishing partnerships between young people and adults. It is vital for a young person to have a strong support system as they develop into their own being. If a young person does not have a strong support system available to them, such as family, then a young person is more likely to partake in higher risk behaviors. Young people who are homeless, abuse substance, partake in sex work are more likely to participate in unsafe sex. This is why we must continue supporting organizations like the Center on Halsted that work to link these youth into care, housing, mental health services, and other empowerment programs. All of these things are part of a comprehensive HIV prevention plan. We must also remember that youth maintain the behaviors they establish in adolescence and carry those into adulthood. Given this truth, why are we still negating these resources, education, support that could potentially decrease new infection among young people? Comprehensive sex ed provides age-appropriate information to young people about how their bodies work, how to maintain a healthy body image, and healthy relationships. I can tell you firsthand as an HIV counselor how many times I've seen adults struggle to comprehend what it means to have a healthy relationship. No, I'm not just talking about condoms. It's more than that. It's about open communications with your partner. It's about being honest with yourself and your comfort zones. It's about learning how to practice self-care and self-love to be able to maintain healthy behaviors. We should teach and give young people all the necessary tools to prevent any high-risk behaviors that may put them at risk for HIV infection. Across the country, there are effective programs in place that help young people be effective, empowered youth to gain the necessary tools to fight the HIV epidemic. For example, back in Chicago, we have a youth-led social media campaign called the Sex Ed Loop, which I helped create. This program is a reliable source of information on sexual health, healthy relationships, and more. But there's still more that can be done. We need funding for more peer-led programs. We need your support to be able to follow through with our mission, which is ensuring young people are able to lead healthy lives. You want to talk about an AIDS-free generation? Well, it starts with us in this room. It starts with the younger generations, and we need your support. Help continue funding for organizations and programs that invest in youth leadership and empowerment. Invest in more opportunities for youth to be heard and valued, such as this briefing here. For those in power, I ask you support any future opportunities that aid the advancement of youth leaders and programs that provide comprehensive information as well as other prevention methods. It is time to take action. It is time to invest in us, in our lives. The question is, can I count on you to be on my side in reaching an AIDS-free generation? Thank you.